sit down and shut the door. The Rolling Stones has blown the roof off of everything that Diddy was hiding. And baby, it's a lot. Now listen, we got to talk about Shakir Stewart. If you guys don't know, you've heard the rumors about Shakir Stewart and what it comes down to with Kim Porter. Diddy broke up with Kim Porter. Kim Porter was dating Shakir Stewart. Shakir Stewart was a very high level prodigy for seeking out the stars of tomorrow. He signed, I believe, who did he sign? He signed Sierra. He signed Beyonce. He signed like some of the biggest names in music. And he had an eye for talent and an eye for beauty. And he set his eyes on Kim Porter. Unfortunately, Diddy was not happy about that. I have a whole expose about that. I'll put that after the video. But let's talk about the way the Rolling Stones pretty much confirmed what has been whispered about for years, that Diddy had something to do with his murking. Don't believe me? Just watch this, okay? First of all, we need to acknowledge a few things on Shakir Stewart, right? Uh, First of all, this was back Queen Bee on Twitter just said in November 17th, 2023, and everybody, they was listening, but they didn't hear her though. They said apparently Kim Porter had a thing with Shakir Stewart, and Diddy lured Kim to a yacht party where he allegedly laid hands on her and broke her nose and called a surgeon to fix it. That's when her nose changed. There's also a picture of this. This then also beat up Shakir Stewart on another occasion. Shakir Stewart was also the guy that also turned up deleted by a self-inflicted bang bang wound. So what did the Rolling Stones article have to say? And you guys, I am going live to get into the Rolling Stones article later. And baby, you know I'm going to give you the fun, dramatic reading. Honey, if you don't like theatrics, still come. You might learn something, baby. If theatrics is your game, baby, you going to be in the right place. And I'm not giving any Northwest. Everybody look left. Everybody looked right. Okay, let me stop. I'm sorry. Every time I hear that, it's just funny. North's a cute kid, but it's funny. Anyway, right? Why is that important about Shakir Stewart? Because Shakir Stewart also, Diddy also lured Shakir Stewart to Italy so that he could violently assault him. Okay. They said in 2000, Kim's fledgling courtship with late music executive Shakir Stewart enraged Combs. When the industry gathered for LA Reid's wedding in Italy that summer, Diddy went to Shakir's room after the ceremony and allegedly broke a chair over his head. Same stuff he did to Steve Stout, same stuff he did to women in the office. Diddy's anger management problems were legendary. And the fact that UMG and all these people are trying to act like they never heard of it, stop playing. Anyway, right? They said, now Shakira's mom actually spoke on this. They said that Stewart's mother and two of his close friends told Rolling Stones Diddy left him bleeding on a hotel floor in Italy. He had to have stitches. And then Diddy threatened him. He told him, I'm going to delete you. And that's when his mother told him, you need to get out of the business. This man is crazy. Oddly enough, right? I think it was L.A. Reid called Shakir, who had this huge career of picking out stars, one star after the other. Like when I say one star after the other, I mean one star after the other. After that, they called him into the office because I guess Diddy was such a moneymaker. Who was he making money for? And they literally told Shakir his career was over. He left so upset after that meeting. And then the day after that, he was deleted. Baby, what happened in that meeting? Because there's no way you're telling me the people that discovered Beyonce, the people that discovered Sierra, the people that discovered who else? Let's get this up there. The people that discovered uh he was the vice president of Def Jam Records. He replaced Jay-Z in 2008. He had uh he did say that when he actually signed it, he felt like he was making a deal with a devil. He was responsible for signing Sierra to LA Face Records. Rick Ross and Jeezy while he was with Def Jam before becoming executive vice president. Before his death, it was noted this new position brought him a lot of stress. That's what they're saying. However, listen to this very talented young lady on TikTok. I'll give you the credits after the jump, what she has to say, because baby, she got a whole series called Diddy Burn Book, and baby, she's doing good. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think after the jump. All right, see y'all soon. Okay.
Did you guys ever hear the story of Kim Porter's broken nose? Back in August of 2005, Diddy and Kim Porter were on vacation. And then there were reports that Kim had broken her nose. And the story that was put out there was that Kim accidentally hit her head against the table and broke her nose. In this resurfaced tweet from 2022, this person says they have done a good job of scrubbing the story of Diddy breaking Kim Porter's nose on that yacht and flying that plastic surgeon in. And in several forums, you find the same story. P. Diddy's girlfriend Kim Porter was left with a broken nose after the two argued on the rap star's yacht in St. Tropez. And Diddy flew in a plastic surgeon from Geneva after the accident, which took place in the early hours of the morning after a party. A friend tells Britain's The Sun newspaper by 2 a.m. they were arguing loudly. This went on for several hours, then at 7 a.m. there was screaming. This picture is from August of 2005 when they were on vacation. But it seems like there is more to this story. Back in the US, Shakir was confronted and the former Def Jam executive was physically attacked for his involvement with Porter. Shakir and Kim messed around, and when Diddy found out, Shakir got beat up at a party, and so did Kim while on vacation with Diddy. And a few years later, November 1st, 2008, Shakir was found dead in the bathroom of his home in Atlanta with a self-inflicted wound.
Part 4. Up next, we have Shakir Stewart. Stewart was the senior vice president at the label Def Jam, the label that was founded by Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin. Before Shakir Stewart was promoted to the position of senior vice president of Def Jam, Jay-Z was previously working as the senior vice president of Def Jam, and Shakir Stewart replaced him. And as we know, P. Diddy and Jay-Z are very, very close friends. So if this irritated Jay-Z, I'm sure P. Diddy heard about it. Shakir Stewart signed artists such as Rick Ross and Sierra, but he was also the ex-boyfriend of Kim Porter. Kim and Shakir dated on and off in the early 2000s. Diddy was the kind of human being who viewed women as property, and despite the fact that he often was canoodling with other women, he would become infuriated if anyone else touched who he viewed as his property. So obviously him and Shakir did not get along. On November 1st of 2008, Shakir Stewart was found unalive in his home due to a self-inflicted wound to the head. The night that Shakir passed away, Shakir's fiance called a close friend of his and asked him to come over to the home because she was concerned by Shakir's behavior. When Shakir's friend arrived to his home, Shakir began wigging out, in his own words. He began telling his friend to go home, back to his wife and kids. According to this friend, as soon as he stepped outside of Shakir's home, he heard a weapon discharge from inside of the home. The friend returned back into the home to find Shakir's fiance in the kitchen and Shakir unresponsive in the master bedroom. Shakir's fiance later reported that the weeks leading up to Shakir's passing, his behavior had shifted dramatically. Shakir was very nervous and very on edge, which was very out of character for him, according to his fiance. He reported that due to P. Diddy's massive jealousy of Shakir for having a relationship with Kim Porter, this resulted in P. Diddy antagonizing physical altercations with him. In the early 2000s, it was even reported that the two got into a physical altercation where Diddy was the antagonist, and it ended with P. Diddy throwing a chair at Shakir.
I was sitting there like, damn, he know everything she doing. He know her conversation. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakir Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone, that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakir Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair.
It has been widely speculated that leading up to Shakir making the decision to take his own life, he was being threatened and blackmailed by P. Diddy and his associates. Diddy and his henchmen were allegedly claiming that they had videos of Shakir that could completely ruin his career. To me, being threatened, followed, blackmailed, anything like that would definitely cause a shift in behavior. Now, this next one kind of goes without saying, but I would be remiss to not also bring up Diddy's alleged involvement in the unalivings of Tupac and Biggie. I won't go too far into detail on these two cases because they are very well known and we talked about them a lot more in the deep dive we did about P. Diddy, but I will put them into a nutshell for the sake of this list. In 1994, Tupac was walking into a studio to meet with his friend at the time and business associate Biggie. When Tupac stepped out of his car to walk into the studio, he was ambushed, attacked with a weapon, and robbed. Tupac fully believed that Biggie and Bad Boy Entertainment were behind this hit on him, or at the very least, Biggie was at least aware of what was going to happen and did not warn Tupac. This is what would begin a very violent rivalry in the rap industry at the time. Tupac wanted nothing to do with Bad Boy Entertainment. He wanted nothing to do with Biggie, P. Diddy, anyone, none of them. At the time of this attack, Tupac was an unsigned artist. Tupac was also involved in a SA case at the time, and he was ultimately found guilty on those charges and put into prison. After being incarcerated, Tupac was taken under the wing of Suge Knight, one of the founders of Death Row Records. Suge Knight helped Tupac negotiate a deal to get him out of prison, and he immediately signed Tupac to Death Row Records. So now Tupac is freshly out of prison. He is angry with Bad Boy Entertainment as well as Biggie, and now he has the entirety of Death Row Records in his back pocket, supporting him in his anger and rivalry towards this competing label. As soon as Tupac got out of prison and he was signed, he had the time and all of the resources to cultivate his place in the industry. Tupac came out swinging with hit after hit, many of them largely filled with direct disses, threats, and shade thrown towards the members of Bad Boy Entertainment and really anyone associated with P. Diddy. As much as Tupac despised Diddy, Diddy equally despised Tupac. So P. Diddy propositioned a member of a gang that he was affiliated with and directed one of these gang members to snatch the chain of one of the rappers in the Death Row Records label so that they could use that chain in an upcoming music video. If said gang member were to make good on getting the chain to P. Diddy, they would receive a handsome sum of cash. This gang member did successfully snatch the chain, and once Tupac caught wind of this, he informed other members of the label what had happened, and they sought out that gang member and jumped him and beat him ruthlessly. While this gang member did survive being jumped, the retaliation infuriated P. Diddy. This was allegedly the catalyst for P. Diddy putting out a $1 million bounty on the heads of Tupac and Suge Knight. On September 13th of 1996, Tupac unfortunately lost his life in a drive-by, and Suge Knight was also in the car with Tupac and was also injured in this attack. While Tupac sadly succumbed to his injuries, Suge Knight did survive. Go to part